Prohibition and public health, do they go together?
No, of course not. Prohibition is like the opposite. If you want to control something, you have to manage that. And it's the opposition of managing because when you are prohibiting something, you are cutting any kind of conversation about that. So I can say about prohibition because in Brazil we live a prohibition of this kind of products and this kind of technology, and in tobacco harm reduction itself is prohibited in Brazil. And the result is the prohibition is not working. We have the biggest market of Latin America. In Brazil, we have the majority of vapors in Brazil, and it's 100% controlled by the illicit market.
But you can still buy cigarettes in Brazil, can't you?
Yeah, of course, the cigarettes are protected by a federal law in Brazil.
How is that so upside down?
I wish I can have this answer, but to me, as an advocate for harm reduction, it doesn't make any sense because they have a protection by federal law to the cigarettes, and they know and we know the risk of it. And to harm reduction products, they expect to be 100% safe. And what is 100% safe? Not even water. Bottled water is 100% safe.
So when you look at an event like GFN, why is it important?
To me, it's an opportunity to expose the situation that we have in Brazil, because Brazil it's a vanguard of harm reduction in the general terms. Recently in Brazil, we have a new version of the Planet, who translating literally is like the action plan to control the illicit drugs and alcohol, but not tobacco. So to me, it's the spaces and the conversations that I can have here at GFN helps me to understand better, to have a better argument, to have better ideas, and to expose the situation that we are living in Brazil.
This year's strapline is prohibition and public health. Do those actually go together?
Of course, the prohibition, we already learned that this doesn't work. We'll only encourage the gray market and especially the black market. For me, especially for us from the Eastern Europe, we have a bigger problem with the new TPD that will, I think, will come this year. We will, I don't know what we will do. We'll talk with our partners. We did a call to action. We did a lot of call to actions. But the next step, I think we will try to contact with our parliamentarians from Europe.
Is it gotten worse in Europe?
It is worse because we also have taxation, and the tax for especially in vaping is really really high. The, a bottle of liquid it's more expensive than one pack of cigarettes. Yes.
What do you think of the WHO and their plan to eradicate all nicotine?
Oh my God. I don't know what to say. We had some things. I was in a debate with a person from Romania who work at WHO. They don't have really strong arguments. They have only statements. I cannot fight with that.
The strapline for this year's Global Forum on Nicotine is prohibition and public health. Do those go together?
They absolutely do not go together. I mean, the most alarming thing I've learned is the yesterday's session on the illicit trade was completely shocking to me. I couldn't believe what I was. I mean, I knew it was a problem, but I didn't really. When you kind of hear the stories from the front line, it's completely shocking. But yeah, I mean, this is not working. This is not working.
And Euromonitor International put the number at 47 billion US dollars is the illicit e-vapor market worldwide,
Yeah.
which is 76% of all e-vapor sales.
I know, it's extraordinary. And I can't understand why governments and regulators aren't going to listen to these figures. I mean, the lost tax revenues for, the knock-on effect in so many aspects of society. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. And 71% of the whole vapor market is illicit globally. It's just, and I mean, and it's only going to get worse as more bans come in and partial bans come in.
I mean, and we're talking about cigarettes still being legal.
I know, and that's even more crazy. It beggars belief. I'm speechless by some of what I've learned this year.
It is true, even for myself, to hear those numbers. I had no idea it was that big.
No, well, and also I didn't know that 90% of the U.S. market is now illicit. I mean, and that's a science-based market, but with a regulation that just isn't really working. I know they're trying to fix it, but it's not really working.
Yeah, they're not going to be, it's like draining an ocean with a teacup.
Yeah. You just hope that things start to change faster. But I mean, the guy from Mexico yesterday was saying that even if they change the rules about vapes, he feels it's lost to the cartels. That there isn't a way back from the illicit market. It's you know.
Well, and in Mexico, changing that would mean changing the Constitution.
Well, yeah, that's not going to happen anytime soon.